Welcome back, Elton's Retirement Journey and Travel. My name is John. So, yesterday I went down to the dispossessionary court here in Atlanta, Georgia, to hear some of the cases that went before the judge related to back rent and um, possession of the home. So, let me go ahead and see if I can get this done in 3 minutes. So, at the eviction court or dispossessionary court, as they call it, there were some technical issues where the cameras, mics, and the video recording were not working. That took up about 40 minutes. The judge had the people who were available go into mediation, and those who went into mediation and made agreement came back in front of the judge. The judge asked them, "Do you understand the agreement that you just signed? Did anybody persuade you to sign this?" And no. Okay, well, once we sign this, you do not have the ability to appeal. And that allows them to make some arrangements to either whatever the plaintiff or the landlord wants. So they go ahead and get time to do that. And that's about it. That was about three or four people. There was a case against a address, and there was no money recovered, and that went on to what's called a writ of possession. Um, there was another case that they always ask: did the notice of parties acknowledge? It's called attack and mail, and the bailiff would check and say yes. In this case, this homeowner was looking to recover back rent as well as move on and move the person out. And the judge started, when was the last time the person paid you rent? And he said, I got $1,000 yesterday. And because he accepted that and he's asking for back rent and not just the possession, she threw the case out because he accepted the $1,000. So that's all I got on that one. There was another case against a couple realty companies. I guess these are the LLCs, and they had reached an agreement on one of them. And another one, a lot of the people didn't show up at all. And some of the realtors and the people that were being filed against, they didn't even want to recover the back rent or anything. They just, let's just get them out. So there are about two cases like that for writ of possession. And there was one lady, she wanted $10,987 is what she put in for. And what it was is on the form, there is a box that you check if you want your back rent all the way up to the time, including the time they were there waiting to get into the court. So she wanted to try and get it up to date. But what she was able to do was get from February of last year to January. And I calculated it out. It seemed like this lady might have been paying $1,000 a month, which is what the Section 8 covers. So maybe she had lost her Section 8 and couldn't pay. And then there was one case where a lady had a tenant staying in her home, which included HOA, parking fees, and stuff like that. He was renting a room, and he violated one of the rules, which was being intoxicated, and he was also ugly with the landlord, and he claimed that he kept her up by her cleaning and cooking and stuff like that. She says, well, I'm bringing my groceries in, at 11 o'clock at night. And he said, I guess it just wasn't quiet enough. So he had tried to do a counter civil lawsuit for anguish of $7,500. And it was just a big mess. The judge kept asking the lady, well, what do you want us to do? And she was asking stuff, and it was very important that when you do the disposal, I think is what they call it, or your statement in the dispossessionary notice, that it matches when they ask you, because whatever's on there, they're going to ask you, well, why are you, moving them out? All this other stuff about him, not getting his stuff out on time and, not returning the keys and all this stuff. If it's not on there, the judge doesn't want to hear it. It took a real long time for her to get the facts out. And after a while, I just got up and left. I don't know how that turned out, but whatever happened, she started communicating with email. Um, Nicely, she said, well, she didn't like him being intoxicated the way he was acting. He had got the police had pulled up, grabbed him on some kind of other warrant or something like that. But it was a big mess, and I finally got up out of there. But I did learn that number one, don't accept any money if you're going to drag these people into court. Number two, make sure you read the documentation. If you file and it's for a certain period, but you know that it's going to be 2 or 3 months and that person's going to be in there, you got to read the forms very carefully because that one lady, she had to accept what was available. She couldn't get the money up to date. Only what she filed for, which was 2,987, a year worth of rent from February. So that's all I got for you on the eviction court process. It's kind of interesting to go down there and watch, especially if you're looking to potentially rent out a room or you have property. So this is it. And I'm John, host of the Retiring Club. Come on back to my channel. On this week, I'm going to release my first quarter budget as a retiree, how much I spent, and what I see coming down the future over the next 3 months. Thank you so much.